Hello and welcome to Aquabats Obsessed, a show all about the Aquabats and everything related. Today's episode comes by viewer request. YouTube user BLDHorror2009 asks, "Dude, how you make your mask? I want to be a Sand Flea at the next Aquabats concert next Saturday." That's this Saturday. Let's make a Sand Flea. Who are the Sand Fleas? The Sand Fleas are villains. They started in album artwork and then they got realized on stage as villains that would fight on stage. One of the most noticeable things about the Sand Fleas is that they wear what is more commonly known as a Freddy Krueger sweater. This. You can just use any colored striped t-shirt or sweater, but this Freddy Krueger colors are really what makes it a Sand Flea. I started making this costume in February, and it was really hard finding a Freddy Krueger sweater that was not ripped up, burned, and shredded. There's simply no place to find a solid one, except for around Halloween at Hot Topic. For $26, it ends up being around $30 after tax. You get a pretty good quality knit sweater. Now the next part of the costume is small, but very important, an iron cross necklace. This is one I found on eBay. I bought a couple of them, and they were relatively cheap. Now when I was talking to Tyler and Parker about the Sand Flea's costume I was working on, they even said, and I quote, "You can't forget the iron cross necklace." If you can't find one, you can make one by getting a piece of felt or cardboard, cut it in a square, cut in the little slits, attach to a rope, and you got an iron cross necklace. Now for the next part, it's a mask. Let's go over the materials. You're going to need some black, stretchy fabric that you can see through. You'll also need some styrofoam balls. These are smooth foam balls, so they're smooth. These are 2-inch diameter. I've tested it with 3-inch, 2.5 inch, and 2-inch. 2-inch seems to be the best. You'll need thumbtacks, 2 thumbtacks. You also need a Sharpie, hot glue, and a sewing machine or thread or needle. I prefer to do it by machine. Just for something like this, it'd make it a lot easier for you, especially since we want the strength of a sewing machine. Now that we know what we're going to make, and what we're going to use to make it, let's learn how to make it. To the workshop! So you're going to take your black fabric, and you're going to stretch it over your face. And you're going to take your sewing pins, and just pin it along the curve of your head. You want to leave the slack on the bottom, as that is what will help it blend in when you tuck it into your shirt. But so you're gonna pin along the line, and then you're gonna take like either chalk or a fabric marker, or I just use the paint pen since it's gonna be the inside seam, and you're just gonna trace along that the curve of your head, and just so you could, when you're stitching, you have the line as well as the pins to help you get the shape. So you just take it and I just do a straight stitch, which might be better to do like a double stitch. I don't know, something stronger, but you just go along that line. And since it's stretchy fabric, it doesn't need to be exact. So try it on. I saw that there was not enough curve at the front, so I drew it out and then said that, tried it on, and I liked it. I have a mirror that I'm looking in to see if it's pointy at parts, so I'm kind of just going in and fixing that. And you could do this by hand. It wouldn't be as strong, and it would take a while, and especially since you're going in and changing, doing multiple stitches. So you just want to cut off the excess so it doesn't bunch in the bottom. So when I say excess, like the outside part of where you stitched, you want it to be longer than your face. So I'm trying it on. Mirror. I see that it's kind of bulgy in the back, so this one I just freehand. I'm just like, okay, let's just but it ended up working, luckily. I've made these a couple times. And if it's not, it doesn't need to be perfect. If it's not perfect, it's fine. So this one, you're going to need smooth foam balls. These are 2-inch diameter balls. And they come in packs of 6. I sometimes, if there's a big seam, I sand it. Sand the seam just very lightly. So you just want to get your marker, and you want to find the center of, because there'll be a seam around the edge, and just you want to start making a an eyeball about the size of a penny or a nickel, just whatever looks best. And you can kind of tell what looks best when you're drawing it out, and then for however many eyes you want. For my character, I'm doing 2. And this part's not as important, but I like to make them the same. Just kind of my OCD-ness. So yeah, just go in, and the reason I'm not doing veins and stuff like I've done before is because that's actually not supposed to be there. The eyes they used had veins, but they painted over them, but they showed at times. So now I'm going to go over the mouth. You could get this, actually these are, I'm looking at, I didn't show it long enough, a thing of mouths, actually from the Sand Fleas website. They have a game where you could make your own sand flea, and it has a whole bunch of mouths, designed by Pook, who drew all their stuff. And that is an alias of Parker Jacobs. So this is a fun foam. I said felt in the video. I don't know why I said felt. It's fun foam. It's white, and I'm just using a pencil. You see the different designs. And so I'm just going in and drawing out design. And you could, do your own mouth. I just like going with this because, well, I'm not great at doing stuff like that. So you're going to Sharpie, and for this one I'm just starting with an outline, because it is very cartoony. I want it outlined, and then I'm going along the edge, just getting the edge, since it is thick. And you could see at the bottom of the screen drawing. And so right now I'm just testing out different red markers, see what works best, because all the red markers I had were dry erase markers. So you just want to, I'm just going, oh, that looks good. Looks good on video. And it's up to you on the mouth, really. I'm not going Forruptor, because there are, like, Fang and Spody, but mine is my own made-up one. His name is Girth. I can't think of anything exciting to say right here. Yeah, so, and with this material, it doesn't really matter what you're drawing with. Like, that's a highlighter. I've used a Sharpie and dry erase marker. Apparently, the Sharpie doesn't work when you're going over a already drawn surface. So now what you're gonna do? I lost all my light right now. It got dark. My lamp doesn't have a light bulb. You want to take a safety pin. I'm using a little pin, but just hot glue it to the back. That's basically it. Use a safety pin, not what I'm using here. This one will hurt. Safety pin will not. And I actually just tape the safety pin at times. Okay, so now for the placement of the eyes, you want to put the hood on inside out, and with a marker or chalk where you want the eyes. And now what I am doing is inside out using just sewing pins to kind of trial out where the eyes are. So I'm just sticking that through, putting it on, and I have a mirror to my left. So that's why I'm turning to my left. And because of the way the mask is, the eyes will be a lot closer than you think they should be when you're not wearing it. But, there, I got it. So now we're going to attach the eyes. and you should have marked off where you want the eyeballs. So what I do is I stick a thumbtack through the back of where the mark is, and put on the eyeball on the outside. I do this, and then I put it on just to make sure it's how I want before I make it permanent. Now, when the Sand Fleas would be on stage, theirs wouldn't be permanent, but they used a different method. So what you're going to do is you're going to, with the thumbtack through the material, put hot glue on it. Just cover the point in hot glue and stick on the eyeball. And I just stick the pin in the end of the hot glue gun, and then you stick it on, and you got eyeballs on the hood. So now we're just going to figure out the placement of the mouth. So you just take the mouth and basically just figure out where you want it. It's easier to do it while wearing it. You just want to be careful not to stab your face. Stabbing your face is not good. But once you get that on, you now have a Sand Flea mask. Now you have a Sand Flea's costume. What are you going to do with it? You could run around an Aquabats concert. But don't just run around. Be a jerk. That's how to make a Sand Flea costume. This Saturday, November 5th, is an Aquabats concert where they are also taping for part of the Aquabats Super Show. I'll be there. Hopefully you'll be there. And it'll be a lot of fun. I'll see you there. Come back in 2 weeks when we learn how to do something else or learn about something else. So I'll see you next time. Stay rad. I might have to re-record all of this.